the math in my head. I was doing the math and I was like, uh-oh. I was like, a tie is so unbelievably possible. I was like, oh no.
There is a chance. And now it all comes down to this. ADR's Pac-Man. Can he pull off this last set and give DePaul a chance? Or is it Mississippi State's day and MisterMan?
It is going to come down to these two, and I'm giddy. I'm like a child in a candy shop right now. I'm so unbelievably excited for what these two have to offer. And MisterMan already taking a little bit of 20% of damage here and there. It looks like he's going to get caught on a little bit. ADR dropping the hot combos here onto the ZSS, and this is also going to come down to a bit of a speed issue. This is going to be kind of a problem with ZSS. She is notably faster than Pac-Man.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup too in terms of pace of play, because Pac-Man I feel like wants to take things a little bit slower, but ZSS has the speed that can, overpower that. The problem is Pac-Man also has a lot of these projectiles that punish super hard. That forward smash nearly taking the stock at almost 70%.
Yeah, ADR looking to find these stocks early. He is hungry for damage and hungry for these kills. The Fire Hydrant going to be able to keep him alive a little. The forward smash into the Fire Hydrant. Not going to find the kill confirmed quite yet, but MisterMan already up to 116%. ADR, the problem with Pac-Man, there are very few kill confirmed. He's got to find that forward smash. He's got to find that back air, and he's got to do it without taking a lot of damage. And oh, that does not connect. A great shield from MisterMan lets him live another day.
And it's so difficult, too, for ADR to try and catch ZSS out, too. Not only finding the strong hits, but ZSS's mobility is something that's so difficult to deal with. This is a lot of percent for ADR to take on his first stock.
Absolutely, ADR needs to find some great damage here. And it looks like we're going to be able to find a lot of aggression coming out. MisterMan, 133%, ADR up to 96, and now it's going to be hyper aggression, but it's MisterMan able to find that first stock with the forward air.
Oh, I love that. That's how he ended his stock way back, yesterday against Sienna. Just goes off stage with that forward air to clean it up. And he parried the hydrant play. He wanted the follow-up off that projectile off the strawberry, I believe, but could not find it. But the down smash does find the answer. So back to even stocks here.
Yeah, back to even stocks, and keep in mind, folks, ADR theoretically one stock away. He needs to win this with that stock coming through online, and MisterMan desperate to find it. If MisterMan finds even one more stock onto ADR, that's it. It's a game over here for DePaul. Now it's going to be MisterMan finding some great aggression coming through, 36-38, tied up all even.
Got ADR trapped in the corner here too. And the other thing is Pac-Man loves to, set up plays with his hydrant, play around those, but MisterMan just not allowing him the time. Great apple. I'm not even sure that was intentional or not, but MisterMan does get hit and doesn't allow himself to follow up on that combo.
Absolutely no follow-up on the combo quite yet. ADR playing slow, but the problem is he's got to get pretty close to deal any kind of damage. That whip coming out from MisterMan now up to 75%, but again, ADR's been struggling with these kill confirms.
Ooh, misplaced the hydrant. I think he wanted the extra damage, but again, this is the difficulty. He has to find a way to catch MisterMan, and the mobility of ZSS, there's just so many different ways that you can cover.
Absolutely, there's just so many ways to cover, so many options coming out. MisterMan now able to find that up smash, gonna have 80% onto ADR. This is getting very dangerous for DePaul. Now up to 92%, gonna be called off stage, and this is going to become hyper aggressive coming through. It's gonna be a great down smash coming out. He needs to find this kill, like he needs his next breath. This is his tournament life.
Backed into the corner here, and again, stage control, another massive part. ADR not necessarily super worried about it. The problem is ZSS is not easy to really catch, and it has so much mobility through center stage, can play around these platforms super well as well, so ADR has a lot to worry about, and that back air is going to seal it away!
Just like that, Mississippi State has secured their victory here. They are officially the EGF Grand Champions here of the 2021 Super Smash Bros. Ultimate season. But we've got to finish off this set before we can focus on that any longer. ADR now fighting for every breath, fighting to send a message and able to find that second stock onto MisterMan.
That's a huge stock for him to take in terms of momentum, but MisterMan, he's got to be feeling good about himself now with a little bit of a lead here. And once again, stage control just playing a massive part. ADR, this is the first time he's gone in really for a combo, and MisterMan punishes him for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I just double-checked the math. Unfortunately, that is the case. Mississippi State, they have taken a victory here, but ADR, I'd still love to see him win the set. I'd still love to see him come through and find some great damage. It looks like we're seeing some great damage coming out indeed. ADR up to 75%. MisterMan now up around 40. It looks like 46 to 75. The aggression coming out on both sides, desperate to find these kills, and this is MisterMan just looking to seal the deal.
Yeah, at this point, it's about sending a message now for both of these players. I mean, this was so back and forth between the two of them. It still is. That forward smash not going to be able to take that stock away. can't quite find the projectile either. Great catch by MisterMan.
Wait, oh, I just made a horrible realization while you were talking, so I'll get to it after the game. However, all I'm gonna say is ADR actually probably wants to lose this. We'll get into that a little bit more in a minute here, but he keeps himself alive by throwing himself off stage right now. That's all I'm gonna say for right now. It's gonna be 102 to 90%, and I don't think ADR is even the slightest bit aware of what is actually happening beneath it. If he loses this, he can double 3-stock and tie it 17 to 17. But we'll get into that in a little bit here. But now 109 to 102, and if ADR finds this, he actually guarantees a loss for DePaul.
Oh no, it's tragic, and well, ADR is gonna win this game, and this is here's the thing. This is what happens a handful of times in this format. We've only seen this maybe 2 times ever because of how the math works. And ADR may have no idea, but either way, I mean, it's tragic for the side of DePaul.
Oh,
it
so
is.
sad.
But we knew coming into this last set that ADR would have to play near perfect in order to get a win. And he knew, and he knew coming in here, if he has to play near perfect, he's already lost those 2 stocks off the board. Just, play for bragging rights, right? Play this one out, play your heart out, play your best. That's what this game is really all about. And he comes out with that 1 stock victory. But again, the math can be a little bit tragic, and that's just something that the format allows for sometimes. I think we've only seen, I can recall one other time specifically when this happened, and it was the end of the regular season between St. Peter's and Siena.
Yep.
And it was the strangest thing because it was Lucina versus, I believe, Knight, and Knight just ran off stage to give himself a 3-stock chance. They both kind of paused as if, they're both like on opposite sides of Pokemon Stadium, just like kind of swinging at each other from far away. Like, do we play this out? Do we not? What happens here? And so that's just a little tidbit of information for you. But again, going into game number 2 here, MisterMan down 1 game as ADR took that one. But again, Mississippi State, they have to be playing this game with a grin on their face. They know that they have secured the W despite that loss.
Yeah, despite that loss, it actually secured their win. And to be fair, ADR, you maybe go for that when you're confident you can get a 3-stock. ADR, a phenomenal player, but getting a 3-stock on a player as good as MisterMan, that is tough, to say the very least. So maybe he doesn't really have that expectation and just wanted to play it to the very end. MisterMan now up to 74, ADR at 55. Going to be neck and neck here in terms of hyper-aggression coming out. And that very unique situation does come to a close. Wow, I can't believe he got caught by that.
That was a strange hitbox, but he still does get hit, but no follow-up from MisterMan. And MisterMan has done a fantastic job, too, of anchoring for this team. I mean, time and time again, it's been so difficult to really catch him out. And ADR, he's seeing why. What a great conversion. That felt like it really wasn't much, but all of a sudden, strong hit of back air seals away that stock.
That was clean. That was absolutely clean coming through. That was a phenomenal job all the way around. That was a great back air, like you said. Some phenomenal follow-up coming out from MisterMan. Who knows, maybe MisterMan finds a 3-stock here. We go all the way to game 3, right? These two just want to take it down to the absolute wire. And now ADR already 26%. MisterMan struggling to get killed. His Pac-Man kill confirms are his downside. They are his Achilles heel.
He's got to find a way to really land one strong raw hit of something, and that has been so difficult too, especially while he's playing around these corners. Mississippi State, just in general throughout this set, all of their players, their stage control was on point today.
Yeah, absolutely. Stage control, I think, really did make a huge difference along the way and seal the deal a little bit for Mississippi State.
And once again, playing around the ledge here, that's going to be the stun into the up B, and MisterMan, another solid stock off the board there at ADR. He is on his last stock here in game number 2.
Absolutely, the last stock in game number 2, and this is going to, this will just net more points for Mississippi. They've already secured their win, but MisterMan, crazy close to this 3-stock coming through. This could be not quite our finale game yet.
Another fun fact for you is that if you look at the score, this was the score of the Week 5 matchup. It was 16-10 when things ended, but it was DePaul who actually got that W way back in week number 5.
That is, wow, talk about full circle. Timing is everything, right? That is insane.
Ooh, finds that back air, or sorry, not back air, back throw off the grab. And we really haven't seen a lot of grab from Pac-Man, and makes sense too, because that grab does come out very slowly, and MisterMan can actually kind of match it, and I think actually outspace it with his own grab if need be. But that's an unfortunate stock to lose. MisterMan just dipping a little low.
No way, ADR putting on a show at this point. I absolutely love it. Now it's going to be 59% to 17. That's 2 stocks found while ADR's been on his last. This has been hyper aggression the entire time. And he realistically actually might be able to win this. And of course, that's not going to give DePaul the win, but that's going to bring the score a little bit closer.
I mean, if ADR wins this, or finds this last stock and seals away this game, you just have to think back to all those last stock scenarios that they had, just one going one way or the other. Even way back to the very first set, if Connor Sanders wins that in a 1 stock fashion, all of a sudden, it's a whole lot closer instead of that 2 stock in game number 3.
Right, absolutely. I mean, it could have been so much closer there in that game 3, like you said. And ADR, I mean, this is fascinating to see. ADR is going to win the set, but still DePaul unfortunately cannot find the points they need, because of course, if ADR wins this with 1 stock, that's going to have that's going to give him 11. He gets 2 more for winning. It's 13 to 16. So unfortunately, not the points they need. And ADR actually does win the set as a whole. A phenomenal turnaround there, DePaul. It's actually crazy that they only won 2 of the 5 matchups, but then they were only 3 points away from winning in total.
Fantastic stuff. I mean, and that really does say it all too. The final score here of grand final is going to be 13 to 16 in favor of Mississippi State. So what's really interesting is the fact that it is only a 3-point deficit. The minimum amount of points you can earn in a set is 4. It is that close between these 2 teams. It was that tight of a matchup, and that really shows, how much depth these rosters had. It was one mistake here or there the other way. This game could have easily gone in DePaul's favor, but today was not their day. Mississippi State, they had the reads, they had the download, they get the run back here in grand finals, and they pull off. I mean, what an upset too, technically.
Absolutely. Technical upset. 2 great teams, but look at the seed placement. Theoretically an upset. We're going to throw it to a super short break. Mississippi, I know you're watching. Give us somebody to interview. We'll be right back with an interview, and we'll see you guys in just a couple of minutes.